We are following breaking news right now as a harrowing, chaotic scene has developed on the East River. A tall Mexican naval ship has crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Rescue crews are converging on the scene. Bodies, hopefully that of survivors, are already pulled from the ship, and more are being pulled possibly from the water. Good evening. I'm Arthur Chan. Thanks for watching the 10 o'clock news. We're moving everything in our newscast because of what we've just gotten word of at the Brooklyn Bridge, that it was struck by a large ship. Now, all this information, we caution, is coming in right now. What we do know is that a ship has struck the Brooklyn Bridge. There are multiple reports of a lot of injuries. Some of them may be critical. Now, the early information we're getting says that that large ship was going northbound on the East River. That's on the south side of that screen just there before it hit the bottom of the Brooklyn Bridge. Some witnesses say it shook that bridge. The vessel has 3 super tall masts, and all of them, one by one, were sheared off, falling towards the ship, falling towards the water, hitting the top deck, while hitting some other parts, hitting the water. What could only be described as incredible force there. Then it started heading towards the pier. This shot you're seeing now is from the Brooklyn side of this event, the Brooklyn side of the Brooklyn Bridge, just north of it. So it's between the Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Bridge, traveling northbound there. People on that pier clearing away as that ship was approaching them. Now we have crews on our way there. Our Richard Jacobus is already at the scene. Let's get to him right now if we can. As I understand it, Richard, you're on Pier 17, which would put you on the Manhattan side, which is where this vessel was docked just a couple of days ago and probably left Pier 17 tonight right before this happened. What can you tell us from where you are and what you see there?
Arthur, I can tell you that it is nothing short of chaotic. We are surrounded by first responders and EMS who have been pulling people from the water on the Brooklyn side, but there is a large police presence on this side. As you mentioned, this is a Mexican Navy ship, and let me tell you, when you watch the video, it really looks like something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's a look at that video, and the moment that ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge earlier this evening on a promotional tour here in New York City, the top of its mast brushing the Brooklyn Bridge as it sailed through the East River. We cannot confirm any injuries, but we are hearing that there are at least 3 people in critical condition tonight. You can see the video posted online. It was flying a giant green, white, and red Mexican flag. It scraped underneath of the bridge. The Mexican Navy saying in a post that the Academy training vessel was damaged in the accident in the Brooklyn Bridge that prevented it from continuing its voyage. We do not know if anyone on the actual ship was hurt or if it were people who were on the pier when it struck near that bridge. But there were plenty of eyewitnesses, and we have one of them here. I'm going to turn it to Jack Cassidy, who was at an EDM concert on Pier 17. It's a concert venue here. It overlooks the Brooklyn Bridge. Yes. You saw this happening in real time. Tell me exactly what you saw, Jim.
So my friends and I, we saw the boat taking off, and we saw some men strapped to the hull, and we thought it was a very interesting thing. So we went to the edge of the Andrew Nadeeb concert. We started taking some photos. We were watching it. It was very interesting. They were attached to a tugboat, which we thought was going to take them underneath the Brooklyn Bridge at a safe height. But then it seemed that the boat was drifting backwards towards the bridge, and we thought maybe it would have a collapsible mast or something because it was towards the Brooklyn side and rather low. And then to our horror, it struck the bridge over by the walkway side, and then it collapsed. And from what some people saw, it looked like people fell into the water. All the lights went dead, and we were very concerned.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you hear something like that, you almost think, like, is that fake? Is it real? Did you hear any of it?
We weren't able to hear anything over the concert, but it was like an eerie calm came over because the set was going low, and there wasn't any screaming, any yelling. It was just no crashes. It was just silence, darkness, and it looked as if the boat had separated itself from the tugboat, and it was going backwards.
Yeah, it was going backwards, because if you look in the video, you can almost see how it's almost like he couldn't go forward to stop whoever was captaining the boat.
It seemed like that, yes. I believe the tugboat was trying to move them, because I believe tugboats have to do that avoid this exact scenario and to avoid a Baltimore incident.
Did you see anyone being rescued out of the water? Anyone coming out tonight?
I didn't see anybody coming out of the water, but I heard from EMTs that they were bringing people over here for triage, and on Citizen there were reports of at least 10 or 12 people going into the water.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy and a frightening nightmare tonight. Jack, thank you very much. We're going to share Jack's video with you later in the show. Baron, can you pan over there for me so I can show our viewers, because this is a live look right now. Again, all of this is happening in real time. First responders have been coming in and out of Pier 17 here, in and out of the water, bringing people coming from the waters over to the pier, to ambulances waiting by. Again, we haven't been over there yet, so I can't exactly say who's coming out of the water and if they're pulling anyone from the water from this vantage point. But this is, again, across the way. And what we're hearing now, just to recount for our viewers, a Mexican Navy ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge during a promotional tour here in New York City earlier this evening. We know there are injuries. We know there are people that are in the water. There is a search and rescue operation with the New York City Fire Department underway. And we will, of course, be updating you throughout the newscast. We have eyewitness accounts, more video to show you. It is pretty frightening and something that you have to see to believe. Arthur, we'll send it back to you.
I have a question. When you get Jack or another witness, it looked like there might have been people on the mast. So if you talk to Jack again, can you find out if he saw people who were actually on the mast as it was pulling out from Pier 17? Because that would obviously affect the number of people who are hurt on that vessel. And then the other, if you could take a look at the Brooklyn Bridge, does it look like the distance from the water to the bridge is taller in the middle, or is it taller as it gets to the Brooklyn side, or is it more narrow? Because it seems like if it really wanted to clear that bridge, maybe the highest part would have made more sense, but obviously from what you're describing, maybe that wasn't the intended route.
I don't think it was the intended route, Arthur, because it's hard to see from this vantage point. Remember, we're quite a distance here on the Manhattan side. I think from what Jack's account is saying, and if you look at all the video that we've been showing to you, it looks like that Navy ship was going backwards. So almost like it couldn't propel itself forward. So this seemed to be an accident or something that just went terribly wrong in those waters on the East River.